name is Mason Dana, and here I will explain part 1 and part 2 of our bioinformatics midterm. So first things first, as always, I'm setting my working directory to specifically where this is located. So in order to do that, I click Sessions, Set Working Directory, and then to Source File Location. And if this doesn't work, you can always choose the directory manually. And it's always best to choose the folder that the file is in and not the file itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear my environment. By environment. It's always a little sad. So I'm going to skip all of this for right now. I think this is a lot to go through. And I'm just going to go straight to the function that I had to write. The function that I'm writing, I'm calling find mean by gender. And here I have this function, and I'm setting my directory, and then IDS is 1 to 100. And the main part of this function is this right here, or I guess all of this here. So here I want the males in, oh, sorry, actually, one more up here. So first I'm setting this table to the file that I'm getting the information from, so where I've set my directory essentially. And then I want there to be a word males that is the grade column in the table data frame. And then the gender column in the data frame, I want that to equal M. And I said the same thing for females, but instead I put F. And then I want to bind my results so that I get the mean for the males and the mean for the females. And here I want to name the results male and female. So what I've done up here is I've just taken what I've written out here up here so that I can add it to my environment so that when I run my function, my RStudio knows what I'm doing. So let's just run this all together. Oh, I didn't actually run my working directory. Okay, so that all works. So now I'm going to run my function so that it's in my environment, and here we can see my function. And so now I'm going to test my function with these scores. So if I run this, here I get a printout. So for males and females, and then here I get their averages. And same thing here. So here I'm just seeing columns 3, 5, and 9, even though they're numbered 1, 2, 3. And then here I'm getting 10 through 15. So it's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So here are all the averages of these gender scores. And that's all I had to do for part 1. For part 2, however, I had to set a threshold. So here I'm finding the mean by gender, but I'm also finding thresholds to see if it's within a threshold. So I did the same thing here where I took things out so that I could set them. But first, let me explain my function. So the function is pretty similar. Again, I'm setting it to a table. I'm setting males and females to be M and F. But here I have an if statement. And so here I'm saying that if the mean in males and the mean in females is greater than a threshold, that's when I want it to print. And I'm also including here these p-values. Here you can see them. So again, I'm going to run all of this. Again, this was just taken straight from my function down here. So I'm just going to run it so that, again, my RStudio knows what it's doing. And here you see my threshold is 0. This is the p-value that the threshold is at, and this is all up here. So here's my threshold that I'm setting. And so that's all there. And then now this is a different function. It's called test with threshold. So I'm going to run that so that it's in my environment. And here we see it pop up. So now I'm going to run this with all of these numbers. So first I'm running the function mean by gender, and then I'm running the function test with threshold. So if we scroll up to the beginning, so here we see mean by gender, and this is really similar, if not the same, as what we saw earlier. So we have our male and female column, we have 1 through 5. And then these are just the averages of their scores. And the threshold scores, it's saying that 0.72 of these are beyond the threshold. And then here we have the same data, so male, female, the mean scores, and then again the threshold scores right down there, 0.001360368. Yeah, so that's what I did for this problem. I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day.